Mr. Ahrens, and then Mr. Record.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to the council. My name is Kurt Ahrens. Excuse me. I'm here speaking on behalf of the Zone 7 Water Agency. We're a wholesale water agency serving eastern Alameda County. We have two issues I'd like to raise today. We've been very active with conservation, trying to meet 20 by 2020, and have reduced demand by nearly 15% in the last 5 years. We're a wholesale agency that serves 4 retailers in our valley. And part of the policy and part of the challenges we see with the current language is the focus as the policy and the plan on regional reliance, regional supplies, and then specific to WRP1 is on the individual water supplier and trying to now evaluate individual water suppliers' investment decisions, planning decisions, as opposed to a regional supply or regional reliability, and how those two come together, and also who will be the one to make those evaluations. It was from the example, it looks like us as a wholesaler would end up being the judge and evaluator and policeman of these agencies, where each individual, small city, small water company has its own economic considerations, political considerations, physical constraints that limit its ability to either take advantage of certain opportunities or to make certain investments. Looking as a region gives, it's really the bottom line effect of how our area is performing. We're actually, even though we're a wholesaler, we're part of the Bay Area region, which is very, complicated, its own water supplies and water reliance. So our first comment has to do with just the focus on the individual water supplier and how that plays into or could impact our ability to get water transfers in the future, or how that water could be used from the Delta. Second comment, which you've also heard a lot today, is relates on reliance on the Delta and how that language is being used. It really helped being here today. This is my first time at one of your meetings, so I thank you for that. But hearing the staff's discussion of the intent of the policy, what I heard stated as the intent, I think if that was the wording that was used, would go a long way to making things a lot more acceptable to people. Specifically on some of the stairway to compliance, we talked about programs and projects are locally cost-effective, technically feasible, and description of the intent was for conservation, efficiency, and use of water. Yes, we can agree with that. In fact, it was specifically stated that this policy does not say do not use more water from the Delta. Okay, that's good. But the wording, when I read the wording, that's not what the wording is. I think that's what's causing a lot of the concerns from the agencies as well as Zone 7. Number 2 does not say talk about conservation efficiencies. It talks about reduce reliance on the Delta. Well, what does that mean? Again, it's taking less water from the Delta. That's not the same as conservation. So I think what I'm hearing people say is the intent we support. What I'm reading is the words are not the same thing as what you're saying your intent is. So if you can clarify those, I hope that my recommendation is that you continue to allow staff to refine the wording, whether it's the ag urban version or some other acceptable wording that more clearly identifies the intent as you discussed it today. Would be very much supported and appreciated.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahrens.
Thank you.